What's going on, guys? So imagine that I told you that there was a neighbor living next to the girls who had a lot of experience using larger knives, who had very, very good hand-eye coordination, and who fit the bill for exactly the type of person we may be interested in, especially my buddy Brian, who's so caught up on the drug angle. What if I told you? Let's get into it. Enon Harsh. You may remember him because that video that came out of the fake scream Joseph Morris put out or whatever, he said that video was from this Enon Harsh guy. Since then, that guy has been on Reddit doing AMAs, he's done podcasts, he's done interviews, and he's said some crazy things. One thing that's changed multiple times is whether he heard a scream or not, whether he thought about it or just brushed it off as some drunk guy. He's also said that the reason that he lives on a college campus is for the vaulted ceiling so he can juggle. I don't know if you've ever juggled or attempted to juggle before, but it's not easy. You have to have really good hand-eye coordination. This guy's also a chef at a restaurant. Chef Dizzy is what he goes by. Now, not only all that, being a chef, he obviously knows how to handle a knife. You ever watched cooking shows? You ever watched the chefs on the cooking shows and how good they are with a blade? Now add to it that he's got the juggling experience. He can juggle really well, so he's got really good hand-eye coordination. He would be the perfect type of person to be able to maneuver with a knife and handle multiple things going on at the same time with his hand-eye coordination. Now, I'm not saying he did anything, not by a long shot, but just the way he acts really brings up worry for me. It really sticks out. The way he talks about things, the way he fits the bill.
I went home, it was around, I don't know, like 1:30, 2-ish a.m. Was maybe when I got home, maybe, I'm always like kind of hoping that I have like a parking spot right in front of my door when I get there, because like lots of times on campus, there's like parties and like they're pretty full. And so like this time I noticed that like, I don't know, it wasn't really any cars as usual. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get a nice spot.
He describes himself as an introvert, but yet he's got 3 felony charges for party drugs. MDMA, that's ecstasy. If you're partying and you're doing drugs, you're doing MDMA, that's not really an introvert type of drug.
I've got 3. Well, I don't have 3 anymore. They're expired, so they're off my record now. As of like 3 years ago. So
okay.
It's been like 10 years. But yeah, I had 3. I had a possession of marijuana. Had a possession of MDMA with intent to deliver, and I had a delivery of MDMA.
It's very possible that this guy has no connection to that anymore at all either. But the way he describes himself as an introvert, it just came off weird if you've got charges for selling party drugs and you live on a college campus, even though you're nowhere near being a student. The reason that you live there is for the ceilings because the apartment was cheaper on a college campus? That just sounds off to me. But hey, maybe that's true. Now let's get into the idea that he knew the victims. He had met specifically Kaylee, Xana, and then the boyfriend. That's how he described Ethan. The boyfriend. Multiple times, even after the person interviewing him had told him what Ethan's name was. He continued to refer to him just as the boyfriend. And how did he have this interaction with him? Well, this introvert randomly comes outside, sees them outside, takes them over a really nice, expensive bottle of wine that he was using to cook with just because he wasn't going to finish it. So he takes it over and he gives it to the pretty girls next door. And they were super happy to get it, he said.
The person I think I remember most is Kaylee, and like when I introduced myself, I think she was like the first one I shook hands with, and yeah, I just had like this. It was a pretty nice bottle of wine. I don't remember what kind it was, but it was pretty expensive, and I was cooking with it, and I wasn't gonna finish it, and I was like taking my trash out, so I don't remember where I was outside, and then they were just like like chit chatting, drinking a little bit, playing some cool music, and so I like was like went down, and they were like drinking some beer, and I was just like asked her if she wanted this bottle of wine. I wasn't gonna finish this, and they were like, yeah.
He described them as nice young girls who partied on the weekends and would drink sometimes. How much attention was he paying to them?
I always thought about crashing their parties sometimes, but I never actually like did it. I usually got my own thing going on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you referred to them in the Reddit AMA as beautiful, joyful. I can't remember the other two adjectives, but
yeah.
Yeah.
They seem very cool. And some of my coworkers actually went to high school with them in Coeur d'Alene, so it's a trip for us. So
now, why is he getting on Reddit doing AMAs about this when he's only met these people one time? He's also saying that he saw a black SUV with either Colorado, Utah, or Montana license plate. It's a pretty wide range. I guess he keeps saying desert license plate, then he goes to maybe mountains. It feels like he's really just trying to tag along whatever comes into his mind of what might be on a license plate. But I don't know. He uses the word like in that one interview that I watched like 1,000 times. Like this, like that. He uses the word like more than a YouTuber wanting you to smash that like button on the video. Using the word like isn't something you do when you're trying to recall something. It's more of when you're trying to make something up. When you're trying to give the story like this. I just thought it was odd. Like is a filler word. Why are you using a filler word that many times during an interview? And then he says that the people accusing him, even though he's been threatened and harassed, that the people accusing him is funny to him. It's like flat earth theory.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of, it's almost hilarious to me that people think I did it, and they're like telling me like, yo, you did it. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like the equivalent to like flat earth theory to me when I like read some of these like Reddit conspiracies and shit. I've been mostly ignoring it, but sometimes I read it and it gets to me, but I don't know. It's the other time it's just like it's almost entertaining to me.
Now, I'm by no means trying to accuse this man of it. This guy who reminds me of Ariel Hawani more than anything. The way he talks, the way he looks, everything about him. Y'all tell me. I'm a big MMA fan, so that was the first thing that stood out to me. I'm sorry, I know it's off track. But this guy just comes off as creepy. And he fits the bill. He's got the skills with knives. He's got the hand-eye coordination. He lives right beside him, so he could be right there and back home in no time. He describes himself as an introvert, which I hardly believe. He's at least in the past been part of the party drug scene. They say that area is a big area for drugs. Maybe not that house in general, but maybe so. Maybe he might have had a lot more interaction with the people in that house than he's letting on. It's not like you can just come on YouTube and say, oh yeah, I've been selling MDMA and selling ecstasy to these college students. That's why I live so close to campus. To say, oh well, my apartment has vaulted ceilings and it was cheaper. It was the cheapest place I could find. So that's why I got this apartment. Doesn't really add up, does it? You guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel to see more, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.